largo, segundo palo, remate, gol, Lewandowski.
Lewandowski's so clever. He's always in the right time and the right place, and that's all you need for a number 9. You know, he's a killer inside the box.
We thought that Lewandowski was maybe on a decline last year, but this year is banging goals again.
Slides in, Pedri's given it to Pablo Torre, chance for Lewandowski, goal!
Lewandowski has 10 goals in his last 5 games.
Lewandowski, again, scoring. I have to be honest, I didn't think he would have a start of the season like this.
If you have this kind of striker like me, that if you give me or give the striker some opportunity to have the situation, later always the striker can give you back. If I have this confidence that the team needs me, so I can give them back even more.
It is scary to think that we're barely halfway through the season and Robert Lewandowski has been on another level. Like he's out to remind everyone why he's one of the deadliest strikers in football. Just when he thought age might start creeping up on him, he came back even stronger. In the recent El Clasico, the biggest La Liga fixture of the season, the game was supposed to be a showdown, yet Lewandowski took it over, putting 2 past Real Madrid. Those goals pushed him to a staggering 17 for the season, with 14 of those coming in La Liga alone. His closest rival isn't even up to double digits in goals. Last season, it looked like he was past his best years. He had his moments and scored some goals, but consistency wasn't there. But this season, it's like Lewandowski has tapped into his second prime, and he's hitting numbers that are just terrifying to look at. So, how scary is he really? Lewandowski's move to Barcelona in 2022 had everyone talking. After 8 seasons and countless titles with Bayern Munich, it felt risky for Barca to splash out 45 million euros on a striker who was nearing his late 30s, especially given their financial struggles. But if there was one thing Lewandowski had in abundance, it was pedigree. He was coming in as a 2-time Golden Boot winner, a 7-time Bundesliga top scorer, and the man who once shattered Gerd Muller's long-standing record with 41 goals in a single Bundesliga season. His resume was packed with titles, individual awards, and a reputation for being an absolute goal machine. In his first season in Spain, Lewandowski played a massive role in helping Barca win La Liga. He bagged 23 goals in 34 games, proving all the doubters wrong and showing he still had plenty left in the tank. Yet, last season told a different story. Lewandowski's form dipped. His strike rate dropped to just 19 league goals, his lowest since his first season at Bayern. He also scored only 3 goals in the Champions League before Barca bowed out in the quarters. At 36, Lewandowski looked like he might be nearing the end of his best days. It was a far cry from the relentless goal machine that tore through defenses back in his Bayern Munich days. There were moments when he looked slower, less sharp, and it seemed like Barca might start preparing for a future without him. They even brought in Vitor Roque, the Brazilian youngster, to potentially take over. But everything changed during the summer of 2024 as Barcelona brought in a certain German manager, Hansi Flick, and everything changed. Flick coached Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, and his arrival was like flipping a switch. Lewandowski had been a powerhouse in Flick's Bayern team from 2019 to 21, racking up an incredible 83 goals in just 71 games. Those numbers were something else, and the chemistry they shared back then was undeniable. But could he bring that chemistry to Barcelona? Well, in just his first few months in charge, Hansi Flick seemed to spark something back into the life of the Polish striker, who began looking as sharp and deadly as when he was in his prime. Watching it now, it's almost as if he's been completely reborn, once again terrifying defenders and showing the confidence and killer instinct that made him one of the most feared strikers of the last decade. It didn't take long to see the impact once they reunited in Barcelona. Suddenly, Lewandowski was back to his old ways, lethal in front of the goal, unpredictable in the box, and using every tool he had, from pinpoint headers to clinical finishes with either foot. Lewandowski himself had come into the 2024-25 season feeling confident, saying he was ready to outdo last year's performance. He kept his word. From day one, Lewandowski was on fire, kicking things off with a 2-goal performance against Valencia in the first game of the season. That match was the perfect opener for Barcelona's La Liga season, and Lewandowski looked completely recharged under Flick's guidance. The chemistry was already showing. A month later, Lewandowski came out strong again, scoring 2 more in Barca's 5-1 win over Villarreal. Then, just a few days later, he was there with the winning goal in a tight 1-0 match against Getafe. That goal was historic for Lewandowski. It was his 49th in La Liga, which officially made him the highest scoring Polish player in La Liga history, breaking Jan Urban's record. But Lewandowski wasn't done yet. He bagged a hat-trick against Alaves in a dominant 3-0 victory, showing his versatility and reminding everyone just how dangerous he could be from any angle. His form was so intimidating that he overtook Gerd Muller's record to become the third highest scorer in the top 5 European leagues with a whopping 366 goals. Just a couple of weeks later, he was back at it, hammering Sevilla with 2 more goals in a 5-1 blowout that helped Barca pull 3 points clear at the top of La Liga. In this match, he showed just how he can finish both from the penalty spot and in open play. Lewandowski was simply in the right place at the right time over and over again. That second goal from Lewandowski was clinical, almost like he was sending a message that he's still one of the deadliest finishers in Europe. He scored 19 times in the first 10 rounds of La Liga, a feat that hasn't been seen since Lionel Messi did it back in 2019-2020. That's GOAT level stuff, and Lewandowski is doing it at an age where most strikers are winding down. He scored against his former club Bayern Munich in the Champions League, putting one past them in a 4-1 thrashing. Out of respect, he kept his celebration muted, but that goal showed he was on a mission. Then, just a few days later, he faced Real Madrid in El Clasico and scored twice in a massive 4-0 victory at the Santiago Bernabeu. This win extended Barca's lead over their rivals to 6 points, and everyone who thought Lewandowski was finished started to have a rethink. By the end of October, he was named La Liga Player of the Month for the 3rd time, with 14 goals in just 11 league appearances. The guy looked like he was ready to go all the way to another Pichichi award. At 36, Lewandowski is somehow playing like he's in his prime, or maybe even better than he was a few years ago. He's been banging in goals at an unbelievable rate, 17 goals in just 14 games, averaging 1.21 goals per game. If he keeps this up, he's not only going to surpass his best ever season from his Bayern days, but he's going to blow it out of the water. This insane form he's in? It has to be connected to Hansi Flick's return as his manager. Flick worked magic with Lewandowski at Bayern, and now he's brought that same spark to Barcelona. Remember when Barcelona was all about tiki-taka, sometimes even to their detriment? Flick ditched the rigidity, brought in fresh ideas, and emphasized a high press that has made Barca's attack relentless. Lewandowski isn't just scoring because he's Lewandowski. He's scoring because the team around him is playing to his strengths, with players like Pedri, Rafinha, and the youngest talent, Lamine Yamal, constantly creating chances for him. Speaking of Yamal, it's impressive to see how Flick managed to bring Lewandowski and Yamal together as an attacking duo. There were some frustrations in past seasons. Lewandowski didn't always like Yamal's decision-making. But Flick encouraged Lewandowski to be patient with the young talent, and now the two seem to have found a rhythm. They linked up for some goals already, and you could see the mutual respect growing with every game. But has the team really improved? Last season, Barcelona had a habit of fading the last 20 minutes of the game, and it cost them. But Flick's revamped the fitness regime, and guys like Pedri are saying they can feel the difference. The team's stamina is noticeably better. They're not just holding late in games, they're pushing, still creating, and giving Lewandowski those last-minute chances he needs to rack up more goals. And Flick's formation, the 4-2-3-1, has been a dream for Lewandowski. It's giving him the support and space he needs, with Pedri, Rafinha, and Yamal supplying him with opportunities. And Rafinha? What a season he's having. Fans were calling for his replacement, but he stepped up in a big way, leading by example and even sporting the captain's armband. He and Lewandowski have become an electrifying duo, each making the other look better. What really makes Lewandowski scary this season is his sheer hunger to keep going. At his age, most players start talking about winding down, but Lewandowski looks like he's gearing up for the next big thing. No signs of fatigue, no talk of retirement, he's just locked in. He sounds like he's ready to keep scoring at this rate for another few years, and that's what makes him terrifying. He's 36, but he's as fit as ever, with a team and manager that knows exactly how to bring out his best. So, how far can he really go? Is this the season Lewandowski redefines his limits? Because he's already on track to surpass his best form from Bayern. We're looking at something special. At 36 years old, he is technically the oldest forward in the UEFA Champions League right now, and yet he's still the one leaving everyone in the dust. It's not enough for him to just top La Liga. He's out here aiming for something bigger. Since the 2019-20 season, Lewandowski has been unstoppable in Europe's biggest competition. Over 5 seasons, including this season's 3 games so far, he's scored a jaw-dropping 45 goals in 46 matches. Think about that for a second. He's averaging over a goal per game, and that's not something you see every day, especially in the Champions League, where he's facing the world's best defenses. People had doubts, wondering if Lewandowski would be able to keep up his record of scoring at least 25 goals in all competitions for a 14th consecutive season. That's a tall order, especially when players tend to drop off in their mid-30s. But Lewandowski's already silencing those doubters. With 14 goals and 12 appearances, he's leading the scoring across Europe's Big 5 leagues. It's not just the numbers, he looks every bit as sharp as he did in his Bayern prime. He is delivering performances that Barcelona desperately needs, especially as they try to re-establish themselves as a European powerhouse. So, how many goals do you think Lewandowski will score this season? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.